We are live.
Hello,
Awesome.
hello.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Monthly Active Users Podcast, Micky and Unk. We have a special guest today. Jamie, I think some people have heard of him. I'm not really too sure. I hear he's kind of on the
It's
come
kind
up.
of a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's word on the street, at least. I've never really heard of this individual, but apparently, this thing I'm using all day that's running wild on my machine, OpenClaw, he seems to be the one who made it. Peter, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It
How
is
many
a
how many
great
hundreds of
pleasure.
thousands of stars are we up to now?
It's definitely over 240 now.
That's over. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure that beat Linux, right?
but we already crossed Linux. The only thing that's still
Oh,
there is it's
oh.
just it's just React. We'll be coming for your React.
Do you
And
like? Do
then
you
we
refresh it every now and then?
it might actually happen. That probably happen tomorrow. We are like at 236K and React has 243K. Then we are the most start project. Period.
Wow. Yeah.
So do you like? Just a quick question. Do you like refresh it every now and then, or are you just randomly checking? Because I'd be refreshing every second just to see how how high it's going.
I don't. Honestly, I wish it would go slower.
I,
It's hard enough for open source projects that grow normally to keep up. This is impossible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's an honest question for you. Do you have a theory as to why? Right? Like, and here's what I mean by that. Right? Like, obviously, OpenClaw is fantastically popular and really successful. Right? But so is Linux and React. Like, it feels like it's an extremely heavily starred project to being very popular. Theory as to why the starting in particular is just a rocket on OpenClaw.
Oh, good question. Early on, I really saw that, like, once people got it, they were hooked by it. And then, because the access channel is so easy, right? And this is like by now, this is like an external organ for most people. So you always have it. That also means you always have your claw on access, and it's just incredibly convenient to have something powerful that can do stuff on your computer. Then, unless you screwed up the hatching, it's also really fun because usually the way the agent reports is just pleasant to use. So yeah, I guess that's a few ways to make it predicting. And then, I mean, it's not perfect or everything, but it's infinitely hackable.
For sure.
You can plug it on anything you want. That also means, and it, depending on how you install it, I mean, the preferred install is just check out Git. So it's also, it just modifies itself. So it's like this infinitely complex IKEA bag, or more like Lego in a way, because there's infinite blocks that you can rearrange.
Yeah. I do have like two. Go ahead, Jamie. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to clarify, like, I actually get why Open itself is so compelling. The specific thing I'm in some ways surprised at is the GitHub star thing, right? Because I feel like OpenClaw's popularity is so evident that it feels like it's crossed into quasi mainstream, where a lot of people don't even know what a GitHub is or that they should go star or something. So I'm incredibly surprised by the rate at which the stars specifically, not maybe like OpenClaw taking off, because I think that it's pretty clear as to why it's so compelling. But why so many people are finding their way to GitHub to go click the star, like.
In a way, it's like, remember when you first discovered Cloud Code or now Codex, like this magical feeling? Now think of all the people that don't consider themselves programmers that discover an equivalent of that suddenly just does things.
Sure.
And like, I think the big thing where I'm really proud of is I made AI more accessible. Like, I brought it to the masses. If it's ready for that is a whole different question. But it definitely gave people a lot of access that previously were looking at AI as this, there's like a Google-style interface like ChatGPT where I can enter a query and it replies text. And now it's more like, it found this my old poems from 1993 or whatever, and surprises me.
Right. Cool. Sorry, Micky,
Peter,
I interrupted you. You were saying
yeah,
something.
I have two very important questions because you have I would say you are a man of hot takes. I don't know if you know this, but it gets people talking on Twitter. The first thing, we'll talk about the crypto thing later because I do want to talk about the crypto thing later.
No, we're not talking about crypto.
The-
Hold up.
the-
I think we should not talk about crypto. After being
the way
Where's the off switch?
no crypto. No crypto. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but the first question, Peter, is like, what was the decision? Because okay, you're building OpenClaw. Like, I would feel like most people were like set up their own like chat interface, but you went for Telegram, WhatsApp. Like, what was the decision behind like, okay, I want people to use it using those apps versus building my own like chat application?
I mean, in the beginning, I just wanted WhatsApp. It was called WhatsApp Relay, and then some dork, and if the guy's watching it, he knows who he is, sent a PR for Discord, and I let it just sit there for weeks because it kind of pissed me off. Like, how can I merge it to a project that's called WhatsApp Relay? What are you even thinking of, like, sending me a PR with Discord? And also, Discord is like this weird thing, like, but then at the same time, every time I showed it to friends, like I made a WhatsApp group and then I showed them the thing, I always got a strong reaction. Some were like weirded out. Most really were excited and wanted it. And then I told them, it's not ready yet, you can't have it. They were like mad. Oh, why did you even show it to me? Now I can have it. So I knew I was up to something, right? But on Twitter, I was not able to get along what's special about it. So that's where I was reconsidering. It's like, maybe this Discord thing is actually a good idea. And then I merged it, patched it up a little bit, and just put my agent on Discord without any security, because that's what you do.
You test in production. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm still doing in a way.
Okay,
and then from there it was already okay, Discord. And then somebody came there with, what was the third one? Telegram. And I'm like, again, ugh. But then I was convinced that Telegram has much better bot interface than WhatsApp. So, okay, let's do Telegram. And then some guy started helping. And then eventually he made a PR with MS Teams. That one really hurt.
Yeah, that one I would have rejected, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're a good man for merging that one. You're a good man.
Then I felt like this is now community service, and I'm not looking, and maybe I managed to press the merge button. I don't know. I feel pain already. And then I was just excited to like have something that, like I just made the playground bigger. Like I built this little playground for me, and then on this corner there's memory, and in this corner there's the agentic loops, and over there's like all the messaging platforms, and then the models, and there's like a myriad of other places. And I feel like if I merge it, I'll just make it bigger so more people can play. And I had a lot of fun playing, so it felt almost like I reject other people's fun if I don't merge it.
And that's how we got here. So, yeah, because I will say Telegram, I'm glad Telegram exists. I would have been sad if it was just WhatsApp. So shout out to the dork on Discord who made the Discord PR possible. Now, that being said, you had all these things that you were building. You had this very interesting article. I think it was titled Shipping at Inference Speed. I would say you are the king of the vibe coders right now. And you have this stance.
Whoa. Peter, do you like
is that a cuss word? Is vibe coder a cuss word?
Oh, you saw the video.
Did I need to bleep the word? Did I need to bleep the word? Is Peter gonna leave now? Am I gonna get canceled?
I feel I'm memorialized because even on Wikipedia it now says OpenClaw has been developed by Austrian vibe coder Peter Steinberger.
No.
How I explain it is I do agentic engineering. That means I actually think about the architecture, like I consider the trade-offs, I go for a solution, And then maybe at like 3, 4 a.m. when I'm getting really tired, I switch to vibe coding and I just YOLO things. And then the next day you have the regrets.
And like, so like, yeah, tell us a little bit about this agentic engineering, because it seems like it seems like a lot of people had pushback with it, at least amongst the people I was following on Twitter. But sort of the shipping speed and how much the product has grown, the success, you joining OpenAI, I mean, it's sort of proof that what you did worked. So it's like, how do people migrate to that? Because I feel like there's this like stronghold on a lot of developers. It's like, I have to write everything by hand. But you're saying you're using these tools and you're being methodical with it. What's like your process like?
Wait. People still write code by hand?
What
year is
actually
this?
interesting? What's interesting is I did it yesterday, and my fingers are like, "What are you doing?" Like it was confused.
You use those for coding? Like all I do is like I give bespoke prompts, you know. Okay, sometimes I press keys, but you know, I would always say it depends. This project was never meant to be like on millions of computers. It is now, and I'm working my nights off with very little sleep to try to convert a sandcastle into Fort Knox.
Wow.
Which is like a very difficult endeavor. If you build something where you know it will gonna be like probably on billions of computers, maybe you go a little bit slower, you go a little bit more deliberate, you'll review more code. But then again, which project do you start where you know will be on so many computers, right? So if I would have gone the classical way, this would never have existed. And it's not binary, right? You can sometimes I spend 20, 30 minutes just on one little thing, pushing back and forth ideas and looking at implementations before I land on something. That's not much different than timing it by hand, just that the ultimate typing is done by a machine. Sometimes I definitely went too fast and then cleanup has happened or like bugs slipped in. But then again, like people never made bugs the old way, right? Or people never had security incidents the old way. This is what I love the most. Oh yeah, it's full of security issues because it's vibe coded. Yeah, because before vibe coding, our software was 100% secure all the time. We never had any issues, right? Like the other one that I love is, yeah, you can do this for hobby projects, but not for enterprise software. Let me tell you, like I worked for 13 years at a B2B company on my own, and I saw a lot of enterprise code. And I think even 3 years ago, the models were already good enough to be compared to enterprise-ready code. So like using that as a quality standard is like the ultimate lol.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I'm with you. I wrote code by hand the other day, and I'm like, no, I need voice to text always.
Do you feel dirty? You should feel dirty.
No, honestly, I think I might get pipped at my work at Convex. So you know, we'll see, Peter. Now, you joined OpenAI. In the Lex Luthor podcast, you said it was between OpenAI and Meta.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not gonna ask how much they paid you. Obviously, we wouldn't never do that. But like, what was like the deciding factor between OpenAI and Meta Superintelligence, especially since someone in Meta Superintelligence used OpenClaw and they had like a fantastic outcome? I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really saw that. I also fixed it. You can now type "stop OpenClaw" with like a lot of apostrophes, and it will actually stop. You know, so that's already that's from like report to feature in less than 24 hours. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
in 10 languages, by the way.
Ooh, see, this is why you should AI engineer. But yeah, would love to hear the decision-making process.
It was not money. As you can imagine, the offer that Meta gave was higher. And it was not easy either. There's some really cool people at both companies. Like especially Ned Friedman, who works at Meta, is amazing. I don't want to share my full thinking because I don't know. I signed a lot of NDAs. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We
talk
don't
down to people. Let's just say it was not easy. both had very interesting missions, but I think I made the right call, and I'm like super excited to. Well, basically, I call myself troublemaker at OpenAI now because I don't need this job. I don't need any job. I'm already good. I do this for fun and because I think I can make impact, and then because the mission that I had in my head and where OpenAI wants to go seems close enough aligned that I can do something really great there. I think I'm gonna do way more there. The more that I'm there, the more ideas I get.
Yeah. So Peter, out of the three of us, who would you have guessed to say that, oh, Peter's going to Meta or Peter's going to OpenAI? Somebody got it right. Somebody played the smart play answer, and somebody got it completely wrong.
I don't think there's such thing as right or wrong, to be honest. I think
No.
it's all perspective. I think it's just understanding that, in life, things can go one way or the other, right? I don't think
Micky, you sound like a Meta guy.
No. I don't think people need to be ashamed. Okay, no, but this is what I said. Peter, you confirmed what I said, though. I said Meta will probably offer him the bigger check. Did I not say that?
It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that.
But so, like, give me that right. Give me that right.
Okay.
Okay.
You was right about that, but you was wrong about everything else. All right. Anyway. All right, Peter.
Peter, they won't bring up on this show. They'll never bring up the times I was right. It's just the one time I was like, okay, maybe he might join Meta. Now it's like everywhere. But anyway, OpenAI raised 110 billion. I can't keep up with the numbers.
Time out. Before we go into money, before we go into OpenAI's business, because that's not Peter's jam. That's a whole nother. We can get to that.
110 billion is not Peter's jam, Peter. Listen, I know you're good, but like.
I mean, my job is to like spend as much as I can on token. Now that I work at Big Token.
Listen, if you need help spending tokens, I got it. You just let me know. We could chat offline.
I want to talk about what Peter built ClawHub, right? And I saw a post you did a couple months ago before everything like went even more wilder, that you built ClawHub and you choose Convex because you want something fast, so forth, right? So what was the thought process like? Hey, I need to jam up ClawHub, and I want to use Convex, and like the journey around that, because like Jamie has done some contributions to the repo. Like,
yeah, Jamie's the only CEO who will optimize someone else's project so we can make less money. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, good on Jamie.
Yeah. So like it's like almost a startup within a startup, right? So tell us about.
You know where we talked about agentic engineering and vibe coding. ClawHub is very much at the vibe coding area. Okay, there's some stuff in there I'm not proud of. Oh, let's just say there's some stuff in there I have no clue of. That's like the bigger problem. But mostly because I was like so busy on working on. Can I still say it? Claw. The D is silent.
We're gonna talk about Mobot, by the way, but like continue. We're gonna talk about that.
Have you ever done like 2 nights no sleep in a row? Like you partied for 2 nights and you hallucinate a little bit already, and like everything's very blurry. That's how you get to Moltbot.
Peter, did you run it by anyone? I could give you that. Like
my AI said it's not a bad name. And I thought it would grow on me, but like
you asked 4.0. That was your problem.
Yeah, you asked 4.0. Yeah.
That's a great name. Have you thought about going into brand marketing?
Would you like me to design a T-shirt? Or maybe if you ask Opus, you're absolutely right.
This is in one way funny. On the other hand, I did one tweet where I expressed my thoughts on this, and I'm being harassed almost every day by those faux people.
Yeah, no, it's
they
bad.
dig out old tweets. They like send me very demeaning stuff. I wish it would still be funny, but it crossed the chasm from funny quite a while back.
The 4.0?
Yeah, the 4.0 people. Yeah, no 4.0,
Yeah.
like the keep 4.0 like movement, like people who
Yeah.
have built this like intimate relationship
Hi.
with 4.0.
Hey, what's up?
I'm late for the podcast. How y'all doing?
Mr. James or
Wow,
Dr.
Pete,
James,
Welcome.
sorry.
Pete's here. Pete, I should be dropping in all casual like when we have a celebrity on the line here.
Let's just let's change topic. Like, that's a good point.
You were getting a little
Um,
spicy, James, so you came in the perfect time.
No, should I be nervous? Should I be reining something in right now?
no, we were just talking about like how Molotov started as out as the worst slob that you could possibly imagine, because literally I was busy working on the main on OpenClaw there, and on the other screen I was like, there's like, I need some website where I can upload skills, and I think my prompt was pretty much that. And then like I said a few things. Oh, use like React, use Convex, authenticate with GitHub. Like the whole prompt was like this much. Oh yeah, and I said like make the website lobster styled, whatever that means. Sometimes I want to like look into like the neurons, like the vector space of an LLM when you type design it lobster-like. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Pete, I've been quoting you so much lately because you came for lunch here and we were like, hey, dude, like maybe you could change your queries a little bit to improve it. And you were like, I don't care. And that was so mind blowing to me, because it was like, we've talked to developers before who don't have technical skills, right? And so they don't want to know about OLTP versus OLAP or whatever, because they just don't know about it, right? But you do know the technical stuff, right? And then this was like one of my first times talking to someone who knew how to do it right, but was just like, why would I spend time doing that? And it was just super eye-opening to me to be like, okay, wow, the pressure's on us now. Like we've got to make our stuff always work, because people are just going to want to slop their way to the future, and that's just it.
I mean, ideally I want to make everything perfect, but my day has 24 hours. I try to like reduce sleep. At some point things like moldbots happen. So you have to find a reasonable balance before insane stuff comes out. And to be fair, like I spent quite a bit on ClawHub to like make it suck less, make it actually decent. Is it great yet? No, but I don't know. I look at 5,000 open pull requests, and then there's just a ton of stuff that needs my attention. So
it's great. No, I think it's a good thing. It just like, I know we're meant to know this stuff already, but it like took talking to you to realize like I can't be going around telling people how to think about development. Like we just got to meet people where they're at right now. It was a really good forcing function. And then and we're making changes now. Like we're going and like feeding information back to the agents to say, hey, maybe you should rewrite your query. Like that conversation like helped us, like, or helped me at least think about like what APIs need to look like. They just got to work. They just got to do the right thing. I can't tell someone they should know better. Those days are over.
I would actually go farther. I would ask an empty session, how would you envision an API like this? And then maybe ask it 10 times and look at what comes up the most, and then name it like the agent thinks it should be named.
That's how
It's like agent first design.
That's how you came up with Notebook.
It's a good counter.
Yeah.
I mean, if the API works, it works.
Yeah, it works though, true.
Also my constraints with it having to be crustacean style might be a little bit confusing. Yeah, just don't say it has to be convex style. Like give it a little bit more space.
Bit of personality, yeah.
Look, we need to talk about this multiple, because like Moltbot, because I'll be honest, okay, we understand you were tired, but you didn't run it by anyone. You just tweeted it. You're like, it's multiple.
No, there were like 5 people in the
and they all
maintenance
said
channel.
yes.
Well, the alternative was Lobsterbot, but we missed some domains. including the actual lobster.bot, which would have been confusing when you change it when your old brand was Claude.bot.
Yeah.
So there were like reasonable things why this would be the worst choice. And do you know how hard it is to actually get a full set of domains?
Yeah.
But Walt bot?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, you post it and it goes. To me, I honestly thought, I actually thought you were trolling. I'm like, we're gonna troll, we're gonna give it this name, everyone's gonna hate it, and then we're gonna change. But now you're actually saying, no, this is the name we thought of.
It was a 3-day troll. Was it not good? Were you not entertained? Were you not entertained?
There you go.
I
There you
like,
go.
yeah.
Were you not entertained? That's all you gotta say. You're not entertained.
I mean,
So when did it get to you guys though? When did it get to you guys where you're like, okay, we need to change, like at some point? Like,
I mean, you know, like when you like go out and you party for 2 nights and then you sleep and then you wake up and your head hurts and you're like, oh my god, and you like go through the events of the last 2 nights and like, oh no, what did I do? And then you check the code. Oh no, I actually did it. But you know that you heard the big drama, right? Like how it took me like 10 hours and how like everything went wrong. It could possibly go wrong with the renaming. Like
No.
Like I had like 2 windows open. One was like ClawBot. One was like random thing. I pressed rename here, and this should have been ClawBot. But within the 5 seconds where I moved my mouse over there and pressed, one of the crypto shills stole the account and was selling.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, I'm like, okay, let's just continue. I went on GitHub. I pressed rename. But I was like tired and I was stressed out from like nice emails. And I did the rename and the rename worked. And it took me like 30 seconds to realize, oh, great, Peter, you just renamed yourself to Moltbot, which is somewhat worse than like renaming your product to Moltbot. So in those 30 seconds where I realized this and tried to rename myself back, somebody actually stole my account.
Your name?
How the fuck can you even do that so fast? You know, it's like...
the crypto people don't play, man.
They don't. I mean, they fuck around, but they also know what they're doing. And some of them, or they're just really good at like making scripts that like try everything for like every 1 second or so. Yeah. So,
Micky, you got hacked too, so you know.
Yeah, like
I guess he got hacked again.
That's it. He shouldn't have said that.
That's why we don't talk about crypto.
Listen, this is why we don't talk about crypto. Please, I'm terrified of these people.
I want to change subject right quick. So Peter.
So
it seems like everybody's now, all these companies now are trying to do their version of OpenClaw, right? What is your thoughts on that? What
are they, Wayne? What company?
Oh yeah. There's like.
Are they?
There's Nano, Zepto, YOLO. Oh no, I'm just talking about the forks.
No, not only that, you've built a whole economy. Like there are people who have quit their jobs and are making money selling like OpenClaw wrappers or one-click deployments. First and foremost, how do you feel about that? Second of all, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? You know, I stopped making it simpler to like people that have no clue what they're doing, maybe shouldn't install it. And then there's like some other smart people who took that away from me and now have like one-click installs, and that one-click does not include the please read security document. So how do I feel about it? Not great. Because I wanted to make it simpler when I'm confident that it's hard to shoot yourself in the foot. Right now, it's not too hard to shoot yourself in the foot. So,
I mean, if someone at Meta Super Intelligence can shoot themselves in the foot, then the average Joe Schmo.
You know, that I kind of applaud the lady for being so open about it. Because
you would have never seen me share that. I'm taking that with me to the grave. Like no one's ever finding that out.
I would have shared it because I don't give a fuck. But also, it's, you know, this can happen to everyone. And I think there's even worse that it happened to me, not with my personal data, but with other stuff. So talking about it, if you work on it, fine. does this speak about your level of expertise? No. I think it's actually quite bold or brave to share it. And also, did it make the product better? Yes. So, and do we need to think about like better guardrails so this stuff can happen? Yes. So I kind of, I mean, it's easy to laugh, and I also laughed, right? But publicly mocking a person because it happened seems a little cheap.
And you said you guys pushed a fix, right? So like if you tell it to stop, it stops everything.
Yeah, because you could /stop or stop, but not any stop with random words, because that also should not work, because you said, oh, this is so good, please don't stop, and then it stops, that would be sad.
Yeah. Please don't stop, and then it stops.
so it had to be a little bit more nuanced. So I just added a few versions where I can reasonably be sure. Otherwise, it will just normally be queued and will take a while. It will eventually stop. It's not a complete queuing. It goes into the loop eventually, but it will take it. Like if it's deleting your email in the loop, even those few seconds can suck. So yeah, valuable lesson.
No, very. I guess like Wayne, your question, like I want to get to, you were talking about like what are your, like, I guess now the big labs seem to be doing sort of, I wouldn't say no one's done like a full OpenClaw version, but this idea of like getting work done, scheduling some stuff. Like, have you played around with like all the other tools? Like what is you've definitely inspired a new wave of products. Like, have you checked out what everybody else is working on?
Honestly, I'm too busy on working on OpenClaw and like driving it forward, working on the foundation.
Peter, so you're not checking out ClawHub or like Perplexity Computer? Not even like an ounce of you wants to like, let me just see.
He's not worried about the competition. He's like, focus. Don't worry about the noise.
Like,
yeah.
It feels like Timo OpenClaw. You can have the real one.
Peter, you're fun. You're fun.
Wait. This is not recorded yet, right?
We're live. Wow. Well, let's jump to the more other business things. We have the CEO. We have the CEO Jamie on the line, and we have Peter here. We have ClawHub. ClawHub is using Convex, right? And there's some things we want to see if we can work out. We can negotiate live. Are we going to do ClawHub sponsored by Convex?
Yeah.
What's the plan? What can we do here?
I didn't know this was happening, Peter. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to send us OpenAI, listen. If you wanted to send us OpenAI tokens, I will. Still accept.
I think I heard someone on the door. Did you send the collection guys already? I saw there's like a bill that wouldn't clear on my bank account.
Oh, wait a minute. Which bank account? Because I'm sure you have many. That's the OpenAI bank account.
Wait. I didn't officially start at OpenAI yet. This is still.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have like a fake badge with an avocado on it. That gets me to some doors. But I had to first do an English test. Like I go to the UK. They want to check that I really speak English. It was like 2.5 hours, very strict test. I was like,
wow.
They told me I passed, so good to know I actually can speak English.
And if you didn't, it'd be inspiring because you built OpenClaw without speaking proper English, right? So there it is.
You can totally vibe in any language you want. Yeah. That should be like a new challenge. Did you see this thing with the dog where like somebody learned to like vibe code games with his dog, and the dog would just smash on the keyboard, and then of course like the agent said, "Oh, it looked like you just typed random words on the keyboard," and then he added the prompt, "No, I'm a really smart and brilliant and eccentric game developer, and sometimes I talk in riddles, and your goal is to like come up with solutions and play and build me a game based on the riddles that I give you." And then he let the dog smash on the keyboard again and like got like a random keyboard. And Claude was like, "Oh, this could be a G. This could be like frog." And then it built like some frog hunting game. And then like the dog's vibe coding. So you don't need to speak English. But wait, I want to like give another. I want to give a little bit of a shout out why I picked Convex actually, in like non-marketing ways.
Everybody
I
click
built-
this right now.
I built but like I come from the iOS world, so usually you have to think a little bit less about databases. At some point, people like core data, then people hated core data, then there was like GeoDB, but it's databases. So I built a project I never finished for Twitter stuff, and I used first Superbase, then Neon, and then I came to PlanetScale for Postgres. And I spent a lot of time on Postgres. I mean, I really nerded out on Postgres, and like I wrote my own PSQL programs. And by writing my own, I mean I vibed something that I didn't understand.
Meaning you're writing stored procedures on the server.
Yeah, that's really fun because like when you
language,
and then you have like random lockups because it's impossible to debug those things, and your agent will never understand those things because like you change stuff here and then things happen here. Can recommend. Had a lot of fun. Took me a long time to get everything right, and then you always have this migration pain. I wanted to have things to be live, so you had to deal with WebSockets. All of that very annoying, very powerful, very annoying. So I don't know. Of course, I get all my stuff on Twitter. So somebody mentioned Convex. I looked at it, like this would be great, but it's a vendor login. I hate it. But I kept people like praising it. So I was like, okay, at some point I'll build something. Then so the Twitter stuff was like in summer, late summer. Then I built a tiny little project to actually play with it. And to my surprise, I feel great and terrible about it because I prompt things and it just works. And like the amount of time I spend on actually thinking about my database went down, and the amount of time I can actually spend to like just build stuff went up. So I had a good experience in like prototyping it for something that I didn't really care about. It was more like a little thing to play. But it worked. It was not hard to set up. But now it seemed like, oh yeah, whatever, some San Francisco company seems around long enough, will be fine. So when I actually then had the situation where I need this fast, Convex was the first thing that was on my mind because I already knew it. And boy, it worked great. It is not cheap, but I'm also sure I could like optimize it a lot more than the code that I have right now. But even the other day, I worked so hard that skills are now verified by VirusTotal. We have our own LLM, so now it's really hard to publish a malicious skill. In fact, our detection is so good, it even flags some of my skills as malicious. So we actually have to dial it down a little bit because it's very nitpicky. Oh yeah, you forgot. Blah, blah, blah. But then people started, because like, of course they do. We have comments, so people started putting their malicious stuff into the comments. So again, I was just like opening Codex, read all the comments, build some backfill or whatever it means that scans it with oh, there's already an API key, and just do it. And then just did it and only blocked 6 people. And I didn't have to think at once, like, how do I access the database? How do I make background jobs? It just made something and sent it to your server. I don't exactly looked up how, but that's the beauty of it, right? Of course, I can understand everything, but you build something that is so incredibly amazing for agent. I don't even think you did this on purpose. Because you didn't start
for agents. No, just to be clear. But we did this to be good for humans. I just think this is just, I've said this a few times, but like, I think we're tremendously fortunate that the APIs that are clear for humans turn out to be the APIs that are good for LLMs. If that wasn't the case, we would have just the most unmaintainable code. Like the industry would just shoot off in a direction that humans would never be able to get back into. So yeah, we designed Convex to be very ergonomic for human beings. Turns out, unsurprisingly, agents treated just the same. Like composability is really like, why spend a context window on a whole branch of exploration if that's not a valid path? Why spend time solving very hard distributed systems problems like caching and invalidation and polling that can come out of the box? So yeah, the whole idea for Convex is just to solve the stuff that humans find hard, which by the way is the stuff that LLMs find hard too.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh yeah, it can also do downloads. Oh, it also does like GitHub login. I get like the whole box. So yeah, I from first prompt to this is now a thing was like 3 hours, which kind of explains the problems it had afterwards, but also is like amazing when you think about how long did things take in the past. So kudos.
Yeah,
kudos.
Thank you. I mean, my favorite kind of customers are folks like you who have done things themselves before or could do things. So they're not using Convex because they can't do otherwise. They're using Convex because they've done these things and they're like, wow, that was super annoying. I don't want to build a distributed caching system. I don't want to build subscriptions again. I want to focus on building something useful. Great. If those folks love Convex, we nailed it. And then there's the whole like making it understandable for people who are earlier in their careers and in the industry. Now that's becoming less of a problem right now because if the agents understand, then we're all good.
Yeah, and then now because it actually has load, it's always easy to like optimize it, and we optimized a lot. I understand a lot more about Convex now, but it wasn't necessary to get me from 0 to something, right? If I wouldn't have had that a few weeks ago, there would have been like 10 random other websites spun up that would have replicated parts of what I wanted, probably in a worse way with less security. And partly why my bill is so high is because I literally get emails from some random Chinese folks bitching about that I should disable the rate limits because they try to scrape everything using the API.
But Jamie jumped in and did some optimization on ClawHub, and I think we want to do some more to like
you need to give people.
You know what someone said in the chat? Someone said you should apply for the startup program because we have a Convex startup program.
I mean, it's open source.
No, but again, like also a shout out and kudos when shit really hit the fan, when OpenClaw became really, really popular. My version of Claw was exploding. So without you guys just like jumping in and just like literally hot fixing it while the site's being hammered, this would have been much harder. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. There's been a lot of talk about benchmarking recently. Have you talked about benchmarking already on this call?
No, we haven't got spicy yet.
Not yet. Hold on, James. Wait a minute, James. I want to get the benchmark. I want to get the benchmark for a minute. Like 4 minutes. 4 minutes to get the benchmark.
Related. Yeah, go for it.
All right. Before we get to that, before we get the benchmarking, so we brought up the startup program. We do have a open source program, and ClawHub is open source. So I think this is Jamie's CEO call. So are we going to do anything around like sponsoring ClawHub?
Yeah, sure. I think the details we can negotiate live if we want to, right? Is there such a thing in the future as some kind of entity that is not owned by one of the richest companies in the world? And so long as that's true, of course, we're happy to sponsor it. Like,
we have to be clear. I protected OpenClaw. OpenClaw goes into a foundation. OpenAI understands that this is too valuable as a breeding ground for new, weird, beautiful, crazy ideas, and for people that want to like tinker with the thing and like customize it to their very needs. So this stays there. We have an understanding there, not just in text, but also not just verbally, but also in contract. So right now I'm working on formalizing a foundation so that we actually also can accept donations. That's all happening, right?
Yeah, and then I think probably the only other thing on our side is that we have a few other optimizations queued up, and so I mean, this isn't like a controversial thing because you've been great every time I've reached out to you, but you're also really busy. So probably getting like one member of our team added to be mergeable on ClawHub.
Yes.
As long as we have those two things, I think we're great because I think we'll be able to just keep it running and keep it fast and keep it optimal.
I mean, that's like two benefits now, right? I get I don't have to pay this bill, and you're also gonna help me make it better. This is like
it's a heck of a deal
here.
Yeah.
Podcast was a mistake. Yeah,
I thought companies were supposed to make money. I thought startups were supposed to make money, but clearly not.
Hey,
I mean,
the truth is, like, to Peter's point, like, it's runnable the way it was vibe coded, right? But like, obviously, like when we're sponsoring it is nice that it could be optimized to be probably 90 to 95% cheaper than it is right now. So, yeah, I mean, and it's not like a lot. Our team obviously has a lot of experience in knowing how to do that and doing it with customers. So it's a relatively easy lift for us to do. But I think with as busy as we are and as busy as you are, the thing that'll just make it easier is if someone on our team is able to help maintain it, then we could just, when we are like, oh, let's add this one thing to it, we can just get it done in an hour instead of, trying to get a hold of you guys and get your attention and have you look at the PR or whatever. So cool.
I'm still adding people to the team as maintainers slowly, because when you have like 250,000 stars, there's a lot of interest, and it brings people from every corner of the world and intention there. I don't know if you've seen it. Like the other day, we have like an automated system that rates PRs.
And someone edited it, yeah.
Someone edited the rating so it would be 5 from 5 instead of the 2.5. And like he's like, oh, this is perfect. You can merge in the blog where Greptile gave the rating. Now like that's why we can't have nice things. Now I have to like use a separate comment section. And then I pinged the CEO and like, did this ever happen? Did you ever heard this? And he was like, no, we never even thought about this. Wow. I mean, it was a setting I had to enable. It's not the default, but I thought, oh, this is much cleaner if it's just part of the text. But no, you cannot have nice things. And I'm sure there's more ways. People will find ways to abuse ClawHub. I spent a lot of time locking it down. But yeah, it's not Fort Knox yet. So I appreciate it a lot. And yes, you gladly get fixed rights.
Yeah, probably this time not me, but Seth on our team, I think, is eager to help. So Seth would be a great person to just help keep it running, ship shape, and get all that good stuff. So cool, sounds great.
All right, cool. We get that. We'll make that happen. We say ClawHub powered by Convex, and then we keep shipping. So now, the hot topic of the week of topics. Let's do it. Benchmarks. Let's go. Who's first?
Dr. James. It's Dr. James. Give it to Dr. James.
Really soft. I'm gonna say a soft thing first, and then Jamie can say something more, right? Because Pete made me think of this, right? If you are new in your career, you might think a synthetic benchmark is important or illustrative of how your app will perform. But if you are more experienced in your career, what you would know is all that matters is, does my application work, right? And this is the thing. What prompted me with ClawHub, right? ClawHub works on Convex, and if we want to make ClawHub cheaper or more efficient, what is the right thing for us to do as software engineers, right? So you might say the right thing to do is make Convex's transaction protocol a little bit faster and do more group commit to the database and blah 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 blah. But that's not actual good systems engineering, right? The way to make ClawHub more efficient on Convex is to improve our APIs to make it really hard to build things wrong, or make it really hard to build things inefficiently, right? To give insights that feedback to. I mean, Jamie just casually dropped. He thinks we can go and make ClawHub's bills 90% lower, right? Now, we don't do that by making Convex. Now, the team is always making Convex faster, right? But the thing that makes Convex good for this use case is that it was done in 3 hours and it just worked, and it scaled. And by the way, pretty popular application, right? This is what I care about when it comes to scale. Is Convex designed to scale? Like, do the patterns fit together and don't create like excess contention, right? Do we feed back information to the agent to say, hey, you should add an index over here, blah, blah, blah. That's the biggest focus that I'm going to be thinking about when it comes to scaling applications. I don't know if we've ever seen an application, I might be forgetting something, but I don't think we've ever seen an app that didn't run on Convex, that didn't scale on Convex. But we have definitely seen apps that were designed inappropriately on Convex. The classic example I keep giving was there was one case where there was an election running on Convex, and it was written in such a way that every vote, it counted up every single vote every time someone went to the website to show the tally. Now, that's just not how you design an election or a voting system, right? That's cool, right? Because the people writing it weren't like, experienced in this domain, right? But no matter of us making the database faster would have solved that problem. Right. The way to solve that problem is to have like components that aggregate votes in the background and show you an aggregated count that everyone subscribes to and is cached. That's how real systems design happens. That's my like very vague soft take, and I'm sure someone else will say something stronger than me.
I would even go farther. It's like if I create something new, make a mode where I just cannot use deprecated API because my agent might still is not up to date, and it will just not care about the warnings and just build it in an efficient way. So give me a mode where this cannot happen. And then like once a week, send me an email with like a pre-written prompt where like that I can like paste into Codex to like fix the things where you detected you have an inefficiency there.
We'll do both these things. We're going to deprecate filter. If you're on the call, filter at some point will be like deprecated. You can still use it. Your app won't break, but it'll be marked as deprecated. We're going to be feeding back those insights directly. Make this change, your code will get better.
Awesome.
Jamie, you wrote
I was going to bring that up.
I mean, I obviously wrote that blog post, and so I guess just to everyone's being nice, so I'll be the dick, right? Is like, the most scarce thing that we have is our time and attention as a small startup team, right? And the challenge in general with benchmarks, and I mean this very much, is, I guess just to turn it around, right? I could probably go find some benchmark where Convex does better than competitor X and go chuck a bar chart at them. And I think that the onus on the receiver of that bar chart to disprove what the real difference is actually comes down to, if you want to like do a good job of respecting what was provided here by the person that made the original bar chart, you need to engage pretty close with like what their code is doing, what the benchmark is doing, how their system works, right? And the truth is, I don't really care how your system works. I'm busy enough caring about how Convex works and making Convex faster for real users.
I'm sorry because I didn't even read that blog post.
Yeah.
But I don't get why this is even such a big thing. It's almost like all these benchmarks that we have now at models. They only tell you a part of the story.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you how many times I was annoyed with like spinning up a Docker on Postgres, or where I did a migration and then something happened, or you always had to like tell your agent to get it right. Or like I installed some extension that then with an update broke. Like all this pain.
Good example, the one that just came out, right, is like Gemini 3.1 or whatever, like killing it on all the benchmarks, right, or whatever. But then then you got like Theo's video or whatever. Right? It's like, but it's terrible at using tools consistently, so it sucks to use in practice, right? And so it doesn't really matter if it gets a 94% and like Codex gets a 92% on some random thing.
Google released it. Google released it without even supporting the CLI. You had like Gemini CLI, but you cannot select it.
Right.
And they did the same with 3.0, where they forgot to like update the contents window. Like, maybe I'm missing something, but like the amount of like what's Google using internally and what they give us is like not the same thing at all. I was even reading that if Googlers try to like use anti-gravity to get an error message because they have their own thing internally, they don't have a tech problem, they have a culture problem that leaks out into the tech. You make a really good model, but it's meant for assisting Google, not really for coding, right?
Yep.
And then going back to your benchmarks.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the whole product is what matters, right? Not what's on this bar chart. So
I care about like peace and happiness. Can we also have this in a benchmark? Like it actually works. I can like give it weird prompts, and I don't know, but it just migrates. I'm not saying it's perfect. I ran into some issues sometimes. You still have to like have a somewhat understanding of systems, right? But it was so much simpler.
So James just mentioned, right, like these feedback mechanisms we can give agents so they make better decisions, right? So if my time is zero sum and everyone at Convex's time is zero sum, I could either be working on that, or I could be diving into this one benchmark that just showed up with the bar chart attached to it to understand what's different about someone else's system, right? I would much rather be solving the real problems you all have, which, right, we all take very seriously, than diving through someone's benchmark code and being like, oh, you're not actually f-syncing, or this data set is only an in-memory data set, or it's not actually strictly serializable, or it doesn't scale beyond a single machine, right? Which it ends up in this case, I think all those things are true. I don't know that for sure. I've just heard that from people. But again, I'm not getting into the fight because I was the guy on Hacker News that would go 40 things deep, like spending all my time proving you why you were wrong 15 years ago.
In that fight. Yeah.
I used to be that guy. Absolutely. I was the dude that would go the distance on reading every line of code and getting S-trace out and arguing about what you were doing and I wasn't or whatever. I just realized that none of that matters, right? Like, make your customers happy, right? And if scale is why they're not happy, then I'm take that very seriously, right? But that's very different than some other code base, some other team I don't know just threw a bar chart at me, and now I'm supposed to change what I was going to do today to not work on making our customers, actual problems go away. There's no fucking way.
To Pete's point about Google, right? These companies, if you've spent time in the Valley or in tech in general, you know that these companies have a culture and a DNA of just how they do things. So Google, I'm just going to massively stereotype everyone right now, so I'm going to upset everybody, right? Google is famous for being technology first. Google is a tech company full of people who care about tech, have not been great at turning that into product, or definitely not customer support, right? AWS is the API company, pretty good customer support, not particularly elegant in any way. I don't think AWS particularly cares about elegance in their systems, right? Apple, incredible at design and hardware, not as great about services. All these companies have these different DNAs and who they hire, what they value, and it shows up in their product. And it's why you just don't see, generally it's not surprising the things they put out. But it's not going to be surprising that Google has the better technology than everybody, but somehow the product is not as good for some reason, right? And
Google's had that problem for 15 years, right? It was what was so crazy about what Paul did with Gmail. It was like, and Maps, like that era, it was like Google made a product that actually had like a human thing that was better for a brief period of time. And a lot of the rest of the stuff they've done, the tech was great, but they just didn't put the work in to give a shit about the humans. And you'd be like, yeah, but I hate this, right? They're like, well, technically, who cares?
They still make so silly mistakes. You heard about this thing where people used anti-gravity with OpenClaw. And I mean, yeah, like integrating that, this was in PR. This didn't look very clean. A lot of people were screaming they wanted. So I was like, okay, I don't use it, but it works for people. It makes my sandbox bigger. People are happy. And then they just disabled it without a single warning. Even for people that tried it for 5 minutes, that's not very human-centered.
You didn't get a love letter from Google?
No.
Because I know the other guy sent you a love letter saying, "We love you, Peter. Please stop."
They were actually really nice about it. I cannot. I mean, let's just say the messenger was really nice. The message in there was not so nice. but I also get it. I think we're good by now. We've been talking.
So Peter's favorite model is Opus 4.6.
It's still. Wait, is this still live? I think it still is.
We're still alive. We're still alive. You know what I did. You know what I did. We're still alive.
You can decline to answer questions. Yeah.
No. I'm now a big token. I am gonna work on making this statement not true anymore. I think that the fact that Codex is already the better model for agentic engineering, by that is pretty established. As a general computer use agent and on role play, Opus is better. But we're working on that. So game on.
You see, he said we. He said we working on that.
It takes a while. I'm learning.
Yeah. I just want to take. I want to take the culture question full circle real quick because I want to plug us.
I was curious.
You can tell James is trying to hire right now. You can tell we're doing
yeah, get ready for it, everyone. James is going to shill. We have a culture here, right? And let me just explain what this culture is. Convex's culture is about building good, clean abstractions that just work and encouraging you or your agent to build applications that scale, right? So we are not, like James said, we're not getting involved in the benchmark wars because based on our experience, that doesn't matter. What matters is your app designed effectively? And Convex's culture is about API design, I guess, abstractions. And that's what we're going to fight about. So if anyone wants to have an argument about API quality or does a different platform work better with an LLM, that's a very interesting conversation. I think as of right now, as far as I know, we are kind of winning in that space.
You know, James, where's the benchmark of first prompt to final website? Because that's a benchmark I want to see.
Maybe we should
I've been wanting that for years. Yeah, we
can do that.
Yeah, we should now. We tried it a couple of years ago, but everything was too early. But we should revisit it now. Yeah.
Now is a good time because I think by now we can really measure how well thought out the technology is by how long the agent takes to get you from there to there. And that's not important stuff. Like I have an idea, I want to have it like this. I don't want to wait 3 hours or like do 20 follow-up prompts to make it work and then install some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know we're getting close to time, so we'll ask sentimental questions, I guess, now, and be more serious. Peter, where do you see OpenClaw in the next 6 months to a year?
I wrote up a little vision document to explain where things are going. I wanted to be at a point where I can actually have a good feeling that people with zero understanding can install it. I don't think we'll fully be able to solve prompt injection by then. I think that needs some more fundamental changes. I wanted to be able to support any model, no, let's not say any, I get in trouble. Most message providers. I wanted to continue to be hackable. I picked TypeScript because it's easy and hackable. I built all those options in there. Now I get all these security people that say, oh no, people shouldn't be able to configure it like this. And I'm like, yes, they should. And I just call it dangerously. And then they sent me a new CV. Oh, there is this property dangerously something, which is dangerous. And I'm like, yeah, I cannot win this game. But I want to make plugins, the plugin infrastructure much larger, so it's easier for people to add a ton of stuff without sending me 5,100 PRs because you all are fucking nuts. Yeah, there's plenty of ideas. It will not be my only focus. Right now, my focus is also getting good people to help. Eventually, having a foundation so we can also sponsor some people. But it'll keep my project. I mean, right now it's still eating up pretty much all my time. I have what 15, 20 maintainers, but it's 70% are still my commits. So, but it takes a while. It takes a while to like get people up to speed. There's still too much of system knowledge in my head, or in disposed context on my computer. But we're getting there.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Peter, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us today, and thanks for being you. And if there's a summary, and Micky, you know me, y'all know me. If there's a summary we take away from this, there's like you want to like make applications for the people, for have fun, do good things, have a great API, use a database that scales, and just do the right thing. Just do the right thing.
He always has to do the kumbaya thing at the end. We can never say bye, gents, have a good one. He always has to make it sentimental. But all honestly, we appreciate you, and you're definitely doing something awesome. And yeah, you heard it here, folks. Peter loves Convex so much that on his like office right there, he's gonna have a Convex logo. So make sure you check out the
on the new one.
Yeah. Convex.dev. There's a free tier, very generous free tier. You should check it out. And we're also hiring. Go ahead, Peter.
You guys didn't remember, but you sent me some swag months ago when I did my little test.
Wayne, you didn't send him no swag?
Wait, did you get it?
Send me, yeah, months ago. Yeah, but before that was before I even like had the idea for the claw.
Wow,
thank you.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
Early on.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Because the other day,
okay.
on Twitter, I called that pizza payola. This is like our low key. We're like, we'll send you a hat or we'll buy you some pizza, right? And so,
I got a hat and a cup or something. I mean, it's like,
yep.
Yeah, it's a little thing. It's
a little thing.
Just like it's one of those things where that company actually cares and they are human. I mean, ultimately in the US, every company is a person, right? But some feel more like a person than others.
Well, you heard it here, Peter. Folks. If you get Convex swag, you will also be similarly successful. So just all you gotta do is get that hat or that mug, and the doors will open.
And we might drop boxers soon. You never know.
When you're wearing the hat, your brain is far more effective at being creative.
My prompts will be reflected and go better into the computer and will be more effective.
Yeah, there's an aluminum lining on the inside of the hat that helps direct.
Oh, careful! You will protect my waves.
All right, y'all. All right, I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's watching. I'm not going to say go follow Peter. You probably do. Follow us, if anything, please. Go check out Convex.dev.
Don't worry about that guy. He's doing fine for himself. Yeah.
Perfect.